Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Kingdom Hearts Re-Chain of Memories. In the last episode, we pretty much just introduced the game, and in this episode, we're going to actually get into a little bit more of the storyline. Now here we have a door that we can open, and I didn't really explain it too well in the last episode, just because there were so many things that I would have had to have explained, and it would have been like a half an hour long. So let me just go ahead and briefly talk about how to synthesize a room. It even says up there, room synthesis. So I never thought about it that way, but I guess we are. So what you have to do, conveniently, we have the right card to open this door. What that little white outline says is 2 with an arrow, obviously, and what that means is that you have to have a card with a 2 on it or higher to open this door. It can be any card, but right now, all we have is Tranquil Darkness and this Key of Beginnings, which the Key of Beginnings is something different that I'll talk about in just a second. But since we do have this Tranquil Darkness card, we can go ahead and play this, and it will open the door. Now, there are a whole bunch of different cards, like I said in the last episode, like, I think we just had, I forgot what I played already, Tranquil Darkness. There's a card that only spawns black fungi, and let me go ahead and show you guys the battle system a little bit more now. So if you attack the enemy on the, before you go into the fight, if you attack the enemy, when you go into the fight, the enemy will be stunned, I believe, and I think if you throw, when they were telling us about the barrels in the last episode, throwing the barrels at the enemies, I think throwing the barrels at the enemies actually confuses them. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's what that is. So let's go ahead and try that. Let's go ahead and throw this, and if you just run into, I think what happens is if you throw the barrel at them and then you attack them on the screen, then they just go into the stun phase or whatever. But if you throw the barrel at them and run into them, then they will be confused, which I guess confusion is a better status element to give them than stunned, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Either way, these opening fights are really, really easy. Even though we have kind of low cards right now, and we're going to be getting into a little bit of a cutscene in just a few minutes that explains what those numbers are. And here's another thing that you kind of want to pay attention to. Just like Paper Mario, there's so many parallels between Paper Mario and Re-Chain of Memories that it's kind of funny that I'm doing them at the same time. But in Paper Mario, we have HP, FP, and what was the other one? Badge points. In this game, we have HP, CP, and slights. Now, I believe that's pronounced slights. I have heard people say slates before, but I don't think that's what it is. Slights are new strategies, so I'm just going to go ahead and learn those, because I believe it's every 5 levels or something like that, you get a new slight. So you don't want to mess around and not learn those, because those can actually be pretty useful, and HP is surprisingly not as useful as you would think, and here, hopefully, there we go, I got them. Those are Moogle points, which you can spend at Moogle shops later on. I don't know if we're going to get to one. I don't think we're going to get to one in Traverse Town, unless I get a Moogle shop card. That's another one of those cards you have to keep a lookout for, are the Moogle shop cards, because if you don't play them, then they won't ever spawn a shop, and you won't ever get to, basically, you won't ever get to buy anything. So there's no shops like Kingdom Hearts 1 that you can just go walk into. You actually have to make your own shops. Now, another cool thing, I don't know if I showed this before, if you want to run away from a fight, you have to go over here to the escape area, and once that bar fills up, that's when you can escape. So let me go ahead and take care of all the enemies on this map right here, in the room that we're in, because there are a couple of cool things that I want to show you guys before the end of this episode. Alright guys, I think that is all of the enemies in this area, so let me go ahead and show you guys what the crown on the door means. If you look like right there on top of that door, there is a crown on it, and the one over there does not have one. So that would probably lead you to believe that there is something different about this door, and there is. So not only do we have to play a card that has a value of 1 or higher, we also have to play the gold card that we have. The lucky thing about this is, though, is that if the door requires one of the gold cards, they're not that hard to find. It's not like it's a random drop from an enemy for the most part, but it's probably not going to be the limiting factor here. Whatever the other card is, like the 1 in this case, that is probably going to be the card that is going to take some grinding to get. That's another thing that I want to point out real quick. If you don't have the card you need to open the door, you have to go back and fight enemies until you get a card that you can use on the door. So that's another reason why I suggest to pretty much just take out every enemy you see. But let me go ahead and use this black fungi. I got one of those in just a random battle. And I'm going to go ahead and use the Key of Beginnings because that is our first story-based card door. And we're going to be getting, pretty much every time you play one of those gold cards, you're going to be getting a cutscene that relates to the plot of the game. Fighting alone isn't as easy as I thought. Ah! Don't pop out of nowhere like that. Hey, it's not our fault. We don't know what's going on. Pluto? Yeah, how did he get here? He's just like out of nowhere there. Things keep getting stranger. What's Pluto doing here? There's nothing strange about that. We came to Traverse Town with Pluto, didn't we? Did we? No, wait. He has everything written down, he should know. According to my journal, it was before you met Sora that you came to town with Pluto. Wow, he's right! We were chasing after Pluto, and that's how we ended up in Castle Oblivion. But aren't we in Traverse Town? Well, it's not really Traverse Town. I think the card created this Traverse Town inside Castle Oblivion. Ah, who cares about all that? It's too confusing. I don't know where we are, but let's just keep moving forward, defeating Heartless. We'll get somewhere. You'd better be careful, or it's the Heartless that are going to defeat you. Leon, it's you! What are you doing in Castle Oblivion? Castle Oblivion? What are you talking about? This is Traverse Town. So it looks like Goofy was right there, or is he? And how do you know my name? Who are you? I've never met the likes of you before. Quit playing, Leon. We all fought the Heartless together, you know that. Look, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know your names. You don't? Sorry. I can't believe it. How can you have forgotten about us? I feel for you, but you've got the wrong guy. Happens all the time. Don't take it so personally, Sora. You do know his name. Now, hold on. Why do I know your name? You think Leon's just kidding around? If he is, it's not funny. Sora's really upset. Who's kidding around, Goofy? You and Don are the ones who... Hey! I don't get it. Something's wrong with my memory. What's happening here? I don't know, Leon. Maybe Aerith was onto something after all. Does she have to be in this game? She said she sensed some uncanny kind of power. And she asked us to look into it. Well, this is as uncanny as it gets. Maybe you should take Sora to see Aerith. Yuffie, you know my name. Yep, looks like you know mine too. You know him? Nope, total stranger, but I definitely know his name. Strange, yes, but convenient. We can skip the introductions. How is it that you can accept the situation so easily? I don't get you. Well, I'm gonna run ahead and fill Aerith in. Leon, you give them the grand tour. See you later. And I'm not sure how much of a grand tour we're gonna need. We've been here before. Something's just weird going on with all of the people not knowing each other. I guess it's no use pondering over it. Come on, follow me. but they're a heartless wandering around town. I'd better teach you how to protect yourself in battle. So this is one of the reasons I like this game so much, is because it's so different, like story-wise, than all the other ones. But this is finally the tutorial for how to use the numbers on the cards, even though it's pretty self-explanatory. See the numbers printed on your cards? They range from 0 to 9. Higher numbers mean stronger cards. If you and your enemy both play a card at the same time, the higher card wins. Go on, try it out. So we're going to play a 4 here, and Leon's going to play a card that I think usually almost always card breaks you. Or not, you know, I guess I'm just going to be wrong, just like I usually am. The LP gods are against me on this one right here. See how it works? Playing a card higher than your opponents and breaking through their defenses is called a card break. Playing a lower card results in your attack being deflected. Even powerful cards can be deflected if the enemy's card is higher. Whoever is on the losing side of a break is left wide open to attacks. Don't let that person be you. Cards with a 0 as their value are special. No matter what card the enemy plays, you can break it with a 0 card. But if you play the 0 card too soon, the enemy can break it with any card they play. In other words, it's the most powerful card if it comes last, and useless if it comes first. Try to make the most of it. So 0 cards are pretty much the key to this game in my opinion, because it is like Leon said, the strongest card if you play it first, or if you play it to break their chain or whatever, and if you use it before whatever card they use, your card is going to get broken. That was a really wonky way of explaining it, but I'll go into it later when we actually get into some fights here. But now we have the ability to stock cards by pressing triangle, like that. And you can see up there that I have a 13, which, the sum of the 3 cards becomes the value of the cards. And the value of the cards, depending on what the card's type is, and the number associated with all of them added together, will give you different slides. We only have sliding dash right now, so that's what we are going to use, because the value of the cards added together and the cards being played are the cards that are required to do that slide. Slides come in all varieties, and each has its own unique card combination. You should try it out once you've collected more cards and learned a slide or two. But keep one thing in mind. Every time you use stocked cards, you lose the first card you picked. You can't reload it. The lost card won't return until the end of the battle. Relying only on slides will cause your cards to run out. That means trouble. So just like Leon says, you cannot rely on them because you're going to eventually run out of cards. And that was one of my downfalls the first time playing the game, because I guess I missed that instruction. Think you've got the hang of it, Sora? Yeah, more or less. I'll pick up the rest when I fight some real battles. Here, I found this lying around. You take it. Remember what I told you and make good use of it. And we get a Simba card, so I guess that is the way of the game, or the game's way, I should say, of giving us summons, because there's not any specific summons you can use in this game. The summons are just other random cards you can use. So that's kind of cool, I guess. How you don't have to manage summons and magic and healing and items and all that. They're all cards that you can put in your deck. So now we have a 3 that we have to play here of any card variety. Now the green cards are usually cards that are going to help you out. Like this makes the Heartless move slowly. This one makes all the Heartless on the field stun. But the red ones are usually just fine. So when we actually get some more cards, other than just like 3 different varieties here, I will explain that in a little more detail. But I don't like to play high cards too often, unless I have to, just so I can use them later on in the game. So if it asks for a 3 and I have a 3 and an 8 or whatever, I'm going to play the 3. That's just common sense, I guess. And over here we have a flagpole, it looks like, that we can attack. Now attacking these pieces of scenery, I guess, is very important to me because the scenery gives you Moogle points and HP balls, and HP balls might not sound like a great thing, but HP balls are pretty important in this game because the only time you can heal is when you're actually in a battle or if you were at a save point. So save points in this game are actually fairly important, unlike in Kingdom Hearts 1. I mean, they were important in Kingdom Hearts 1 as far as saving the game, but since it was so easy to heal, I don't feel like the healing ability of the save points was used all that often. So in this game, the save points actually have a purpose that is used quite often, and you'll probably see me, I plan on it anyway, running back and forth to a save point between grinding sessions, or even just between playing the game normally. I'm gonna have to go back to save points. Now, as far as playing the game and saving and dying and all that, I don't plan on dying. I don't think anybody ever plans on dying, but there are some pretty hard bosses in this game. So I hope I don't die, but I would not be surprised if I do. Now, I have leveled up CP last time, but I'm just going to go ahead and raise my HP right now. So let's go ahead and take out all these, or I will go ahead and take out all of the Heartless, and I will meet you guys back here, and we'll go through the scenery pieces here. Alright guys, I just leveled up and I think that might just be the final Heartless fight we have here, hopefully anyway. And even if I do, yeah, I was gonna say, even if one spawns, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and go on with it because I don't think I need to grind quite this much. Now, I need to get up here somehow. Oh, there's a ladder over there. I don't know how I didn't notice that ladder. The cool thing is that this game is, in a way, almost randomly generated because of the way you have to synthesize rooms like this. So not everyone's room, not everyone's second room in Traverse Town or whatever it is gonna look like this. So let me go ahead and take this guy out real quick. And there we go. So now I have pretty much as much experience as I want right now. So let's go ahead and try and open this little plot door over here. I don't know what... See, the thing is, I'm not really exactly the best as far as planning card decks and using my cards and all that, but it's really not that necessary. To some extent, you're going to have to strategize to get through the game without too much of a headache, but I don't know how good I'm going to be at that yet, so I'll try my best and we'll hope for the best, I guess. Aerith, have you forgotten me too? I don't know whether to say nice to meet you or good to see you again. I don't think I know you, but I still feel like you belong here. Yeah, exactly. Like, we've never met, but it still doesn't feel weird knowing your name. But I'm telling you, we have met. We took on the Heartless together. We were a team. It feels like you're right, but I can't remember. Then I guess you won't remember what you told me. In Hollow Bastion, when I sealed the keyhole, we may never meet again. But we'll never forget each other. See, you do remember. He's right, Leon. I remember you saying that too. I guess I can't write it off as a coincidence then. I don't have any memory of it, but somehow I still remember. I think your heart is doing the remembering for us. My heart? We don't know you, Sora, but your heart is full of memories of us together. Those memories must resonate in our hearts too. Maybe they tell us things we couldn't otherwise know. So you're saying that Sora's memories are affecting ours. His memories do seem to have a certain power. Maybe it's like that guy said then. This town is just an illusion, something my memories created. And there's someone special to you in this town? How did you... I get it. My memories are resonating with yours, telling you what happened. Yeah, a friend of mine is somewhere in this town. I mean, Castle Oblivion. Castle Oblivion? What's that? There aren't any castles in here. That's not quite what I mean. You're still not sure what's going on yourself, right? Right. We just got here after all. I want to take a better look around. Then go have a walk around town. There are Heartless, but that's no problem for you. So you know I can fight. I can't say I know, but I feel like believing you. Let's leave it at that. And we get the key to truth, which usually, as far as I remember, is the last one. I seem to remember like another one after the key of truth, but the key of... I forgot what the other ones are called already, but we're going to be getting those in pretty much every level there is. Not just Traverse Town. Those gold keys like that are used pretty much everywhere. Didn't mean to fall off like that. I almost thought I was going to be falling off the level, like off the side, but you can't actually fall into the black abyss over there. So let's go ahead and play a black fungus card, I guess, just to show you what it looks like, I guess, and just to highlight the fact that you can play cards that will really affect what goes on in the room you're about to spawn in. So eventually there should be some black mushrooms over here somewhere. I hear them spawning, and there's one. So I'm not going to fight one right now. So I almost kind of wasted the card, I guess. But just know that cards do affect even just the Heartless that'll spawn in the room. Now, I was going to say, I hope some Moogle points are in there. But since the next crown room is right here, let me go ahead and play this one. Now, you have to, I didn't know you had to play the green card first. But you have to, if it has a green outline, you have to play a green card. So also, the 0 cards, just like kind of fighting in battle, the 0 cards are really important as far as room synthesis as well, because those cards can be used as pretty much anything. Now, I'm not sure, it says 6 right there. I'm not sure if it's asking for a 6. Apparently not. I thought it said, oh, is that green maybe? Yeah, that's green. I thought when it was that little, it looked like a speech bubble up there, like that one right there. I thought that was a 6, and I had to play a 6 for some reason, but that's not the case. I guess that's just telling you what color it is, and there's an R, so that makes sense. So let's go ahead and play the Key of Truth here, and get yet another cutscene, but there's not just going to be a cutscene in this room here. There's going to be quite of an important fight, too. Well, what do you know? It's Sora! Wait, what am I saying? I don't know you. But you do look like a Sora, what with the spiky hair and baggy pants. It's okay, Sid, that's my name. So, you've heard of me, eh? Well, I can't say as I'm surprised. Anyway, maybe you can help me out. A friend of mine's supposed to be somewhere in this town. Got any ideas? Your friend, huh? Lately, all this town sees is Heartless. Can't even take 2 steps without getting attacked. In fact, this plaza's the worst. Word is, a jumbo-sized Heartless shows up when that bell rings. If you value your hide, you'll get out of here while the getting's good. Gosh, maybe we should leave. Don't you want to see the Heartless? Haven't we seen millions of Heartless in the past? Yeah, Donald, I for once agree with Donald here. The bell! Be careful, Sora! So just like in the first game, guys, we are fighting Guard Armor, but we're fighting him fairly early in this game. Now, he's not hard, really, but one key mistake I pretty much always make when I fight Guard Armor is, I did not mean to play that, by the way. I better get that card back, because when you use elixirs, I believe that was an elixir, you don't get it back. So if breaking it counts as using it, I might be a little bit frustrated there. Oh, it's right there, so we're good. Now, one thing that I always had a problem with when I was fighting Guard Armor is I pretty much always, for some reason, use too many slights, and I run out of cards. So hopefully I just restrain myself from doing that. But another thing you might want to know is that this green card that looks like a Mickey Mouse head is what I believe is called a gimmick card. I'm not sure if I just made that name up or if that's what it is actually called, but whenever you're fighting a boss, the gimmick cards have some sort of effect on the boss. So using it on Guard Armor makes Guard Armor fall apart. When we're fighting, this isn't really a spoiler. Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to go there because I want that to be a surprise when we actually get there. But for some reason, if you guys remember when I said that I don't really use Donald and Goofy all that much, for some reason, Donald and Goofy seem to be actually fairly powerful in the fight with Guard Armor. Not really sure why. Maybe it's just different between the Game Boy Advance and the PlayStation 2 version, because I remember in the Game Boy Advance, Donald and Goofy were pretty, I'm not going to say useless, because they definitely weren't useless, but I didn't feel like they did enough damage for what they are. They're your party members, basically. So let me go ahead and use this gimmick card again. I bet we can take them out in short order here. And, you know, it might be a good idea. Oh, man, I kind of messed up there. I was going to say, let me go ahead and try and use a sliding dash attack, but you can't really because I didn't play the right cards. I think sliding dash requires, I think it was 10 to 15 value of all three of the same cards. So later on, we're going to be getting different cards that are different Keyblades. I don't know why I did that, because now my only 0 card is gone. But later on, we're going to be getting cards that have different values other than, or different types of cards other than the Kingdom Key. So if we try and play 3 cards of whatever cards we get later on, and they aren't all the Kingdom Key, or all 3 of the same type of card, we won't be able to play Sliding Dash. And that was a really long-winded explanation for a fairly simple concept. I wouldn't have it any other way. So your friend wasn't here? No, I don't think I'll find him in this town. But he's somewhere in this castle, I just know it. Castle? Like this whole town's inside some humongous castle? Ooh, that's rich. He's probably right, Sid. We may not understand what's going on, but Sora does. He can see that reality is bigger than just this world. I wish I was that sure. You'll be okay, Sora. No matter what shape reality takes, you can handle it. I may not remember you, but I know you in my heart. Leon. Take care, Sora. I'm a little lost, but best of luck anyway. What's up? I don't have all the answers, but I had to tell you something. Your memories created this town, right? That's what the guy who gave me the card said. If that's true, then this town is just a figment of your mind, and so are we. But you can't be a figment. You're standing right here. The town is here too. But I'm not really me. I don't remember the things I should, and I sense things I shouldn't. Sora, beware your memories. In the journey to come, you'll be faced with more illusions. Sometimes the shadows of your memory will deceive you, try to lead you astray. So, what exactly does that mean? I'm sorry. I'm just another illusion. The truth is out of my reach. Don't say stuff like that. It's depressing. Stay strong, Sora. Don't let the illusions distract you from what's truly important. Okay. Sora! Are you ready to go? Yeah, be right there. Well, I'd better be going. Aerith? Aerith! What about Aerith? Where did she go? I was just talking to her. Aerith left with Leon and the others, remember? Huh? You worried us just standing there by yourself. Is this what she meant? Alright guys, I'm kinda close to dying here, but we got through the Guard Armor fight without too much of a problem. Now, in the next episode, and the coming up episodes, I guess, over the course of the game, I guess, we're going to be finding out all about what Aerith exactly meant, even though it's pretty obvious at this point that's not really Aerith, and we're not really in Traverse Town. But I want to thank you guys for watching this episode of Let's Play Kingdom Hearts. In the next episode, we are going to be going to the next floor of Castle Oblivion. See you guys next time.